I am the mainly digger, and I have the best, the craziest story about the Kennedy estates. I just kind of put it together today. It's all just a theory, but not even a theory. Like I'll show you the article, the research that I did. I had to go to the hospital or an appointment, medical appointment today. So I was in the doctor's office for an extended period of time. So what do I do when I'm bored? I do research. Um, this was going on, but this idea kind of was bouncing around in my head, but I found it out, like confirmed it today in the doctor's office. Anyway, so Kennedy States, I uh, I was looking for a quarry, or not even. I wasn't even looking for a quarry. I was doing multiple different research projects. One of them was about abolitionists in Chambersburg. If you don't know, John Brown, who conducted the raid on Harper's Ferry, right, pretty much the started the Civil War, depending on who you talk to. Um, his he planned it, all the logistical stuff and everything. He stockpiled weapons in Chambersburg, in a quarry in Chambersburg. Um, and there's a history marker in Chambersburg as you go over the bridge. And I always thought that's kind of where the area that James Brown and Frederick Douglass met. Frederick Douglass met him to tell him, no, don't do it, dude. Don't. It's not a good idea. You're gonna start something you can't like. There's other ways to do it. But obviously, John Brown didn't listen to him and went with it anyway. And so I had that roaming around in my head, and I was thinking, and the marker is kind of by um, the Kennedy estate. So like just a random idea. I was like, man, what if they met on the Kennedy estate? That'd be absolutely crazy. Because Judge James Kennedy, he was an abolitionist. He actually freed his slaves and actually had one like living on his property. Gave him a house on his or land to live on the property, and he built a house or whatever. Um, so I was like, man, that would be pretty crazy. Then, and plus there's no rock quarries around there at all. There's no rock quarries in that area. If there was, I was like, maybe they built over it. And even then, rock quarries are hard to build over. They're hard to that's a lot of dirt. No one's going to do that. So like I was kind of stuck. I was like, where, it's not near where the history marker says it. The history marker says in this area. And everything I've read said it was behind Big Lots in Chambersburg. So I was like, man, it's got to be around there somewhere. There's a housing development. So like, I honestly was like, maybe they found a way to build over it. They put all the sand, the dirt, whatever, and built over it. But then I remember. Well, first I found these two things. They might be tines for farming, but they have these blades on it. I don't know much about farming and stuff like that, but it made me start thinking about where maybe there's quarries on the Kennedy estate, which is whatever. But I was doubting myself. I was like, there's no way you found some pieces of metal that look like chisels. It could be anything. But then I looked into my older research about one of the owners, which was James Dunlop. James Dunlop he put a whole bunch of mills. He was probably the first person to put mills in on that part. He owned the Kennedy estate at the time, and put a whole bunch of mills in, made his money that way, moved to Philadelphia. He was also a lawyer, became a lawyer. I forgot exactly which. It was a fairly popular mill. But what I'm getting at is there's two cornerstones in the house that were milled by James Dunlop and put into the house, like cut stone. And I haven't, I don't take pictures of that house or anything, but it's just like, it made me think, well, if he had a whole bunch of mills, he did rock work, where would he get his stone? And like, if I was a businessman, I would dig that. I would find a place close to where I live and I would dig it out. And plus, maybe these are rock chisels. I don't know. Who knows? But it just started to make me think, and, just what if, what if the Kennedy estate was where they met? And then I found something online that I will show you that it says the Kennedy farm. Now, I don't know, maybe there was another Kennedy farm and I'm getting too excited about this, but this is amazing news. This is where they staged and planned, if it is true, it's where they staged and planned, or John Brown staged and planned the raid on Harper's Ferry on the Kennedy estates, a place I've been detecting for almost a year, a place that, I don't know, it's just so cool. It's just so cool. There's so much history on that estate. I'm so excited. I'm doubting myself, but at the same time, I'm still excited. And what I was thinking, it's probably on, like, I have the area, narrowed down, and tomorrow, or the next time I have time, I'm gonna go over there and check for rocks and stuff like that. But I can't detect in that area because it's the soccer field, which I was escorted off or told to leave politely by police. So I cannot metal detect in that area on the soccer field, but I can detect around in the bank and look for rocks, or quarry, a sign of a quarry. Soccer field, or I call it soccer mom field, is also where that structure is that I don't know what it is. There's, it looks like something to a bridge, but it would be dumb to put a bridge there. So I'm thinking like a mill. It predates, it's where the cavalry shot, they used it as a shooting range, or a backstop for the shooting range in the 20s. So the structure predates the 20s. No one knows what it is. It's always been there. So maybe it was a part of it. I don't really know about how they cut stone in the 1800s. I know they used chisels, and blasting. They blast a lot. I've done a little bit of research on that, but I don't know why that structure's there. Not the point. The point is, I think I found evidence that where John Brown stored and cached his weapons, and plotted against the federal government before the raid on Harper's Ferry. I think I found where Frederick Douglass and John Brown met, and Frederick Douglass tried to explain to him, no, don't do this, dude, this is not cool. But yeah, I'm excited, mainly to go out. I'll show you some pictures. I'll show you like the evidence, the research that I've done. All right. So this article is actually from the Franklin County Historical Society here in Chambersburg. They post stuff online, but it was a pretty good article about John Brown in general. I didn't know this, he had 20 kids and married twice. 20 kids, holy, anyway. So it just says he met Frederick Douglass in Chambersburg. Then right here it says Brown sent the weapons that he'd been stockpiling in Chambersburg to the Kennedy farm. See, that's what gets me. The Kennedy farm, that's the Kennedy estate. Just over the Maryland border, the Kennedy farm is close to Harper's Ferry, and it was a staging point for the attack. So where I've been metal detecting, or trying to metal detect around in the property, or where I got kicked off of, is where the staging point for the attack, where they stockpiled weapons, where they plotted and planned. But yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy. And after this, I'll show you more evidence, or what I found on it. Maybe I'll show you the historical marker, and then I'll show you the my possible possible stone chisels. If they are stone chisels, you can give your 2 cents, and maybe they are, maybe they aren't. Maybe you know something more than I do. But this is awesome news. Enjoy it so much. So yeah, this is the historical marker that's on the bridge, right close to the Kennedy estate. It doesn't say, it's right next to Big Lots. The best way to describe it, if you're ever in Chambersburg, look for Big Lots and a bridge, and you'll find the sign. It's just cool, like it just, a little, this is what happened, and it's just really cool information. Really good to know. Just historical stuff, historical research. That's what I love about Pennsylvania and Chambersburg. They have all these historical markers just to remember the history that was here. Like, you may tear stuff down and or build over it, but there's still a marker here. There's still, the history still being told, and that's to me, that's really cool. All right, enough of that. I'll show you the 2 possible chisels I found. So, like I said, if you know anything about stone chisels, let me know. If you know anything about farmer tines, let me know. So yeah, I don't really know any about any of it. I've used shims like this, or metal shims at Bath Iron Works to lift stuff up, but it might, I don't know. What concerns me that it may not be a chisel is that there's no, like, usually these chisels have something on top. Not all of them, but like, especially if they've been used, they're hitting it with a hammer multiple times, so there's no like mushroom there on this one. There's no sign of use, but also it's still crusty. I've cleaned a lot of the rust off of it. Not a lot, not, it's still crusty, but I've cleaned a lot of rust off of it. But that's, yeah, I love relics, love it. But same with, you can see more of a chiseled edge on this one, but there might be tines, might be just farmer's tines. But yeah, it's, I don't know, it concerns me that there's no, but also they're pretty rustic. They're pretty, they look like they're made from a forge. It's just cool. I enjoy looking at old stuff. So, and it just, like, if where I think the rock quarry is, if it was a rock quarry, that'd be awesome. That'd be outstanding. It would just verify the information that I found and give me an exact location of, and identify that, yes, this was a rock quarry. This is where Frederick Douglass and John Brown met, possibly. And I don't know, it's good times. All right, mainly dig out.